Angela and Randy Fargo, Colleyville, Texas, and Owen and Justin Tippett of San Antonio, Texas. Her cousins, Ronan Reed Fargo of Colleyville, Texas, Hannah, Faith, Gavin, and Emily Tippett of San Antonio, Texas, and many other extended family and friends. Londyn was greeted in heaven by her papa, Robert Tippett, great-grandparents, and other relatives who predeceased her. Anyone who knew Londyn knew that she was incredibly kind-hearted. She was always a source of positivity and possibilities, and although her life was cut short, her light will continue to shine through the many, many lives she touched. There are truly no words that can describe what Londyn meant to all of us, but we all will remember the things we've learned from her, like standing up for what we believe in, being open-minded, and living life to the fullest. I hope as we grow older, we can be the change she wanted to see in the world, that she'll be looking down on us from heaven with a smile. I pray, God, that you watch over her family and give them strength and help us to remember Londyn and each other. I love you so much, Londyn. You will be missed, and I know you are watching over us. You have created a beautiful community, and I hope you know that we are better because of you. We thank God for the time we had with you. Sorry, and now we would like you to turn on your candle.
All right, I'm going to be reading Lauren Bajuc's obituary. Lauren Marie Bajuk was born June 16, 2002 in Fort Worth, Texas, and passed away on Friday, June 24, 2022 in a tragic car accident at the age of 20. Lauren lived in Bedford, Texas, and attended grades K through 12 in the HEB school district. In 2020, she graduated from LD Bell High School as an IB diploma recipient and was ranked number 8 out of nearly 800 in her class. Lauren was a class treasurer and participated in many clubs and activities. She absolutely loved the LD Bell Blue Raider Marching Band, and she was the first female brass captain in the school's recorded history. At the time of death, Lauren was a junior at the University of Texas at Austin, where she was accepted into the Canfield Business Honors Program in the McCombs School of Business. She was on the Dean's Honor List every semester and recently received an Honors with Distinction award as she was in the top 4% of students. Lauren was majoring in business with a minor in Mandarin Chinese and was excited about being chosen for a special opportunity to study at the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology in January 2023. Lauren was also a very proud member of the Longhorn Marching Band and was set to be a mellophone section leader for the upcoming fall football season. She was a member of ISEC as the social events chair and was also in the Business Honors Association. Lauren recently competed in the Protivity Case competition at UT, where she and her teammates took home first place for their teamwork and intellect. Her future was so bright. While Lauren's accomplishments are many, it was her kindness and her incredible wit that touched all who knew her. She was funny, and she inspired those around her to be better. Her compassion was exemplary. At her core, she was a family person, a devoted daughter, and a loyal sister to her brother. She had a spirit of giving and created many handmade artistic items for friends and family members over the years, including hand-painted portraits inscribed with personal notes on the back. Her deep friendships were plentiful and enriched her life beyond words. Lauren loved life. Her studies were always at the forefront of her priority list, but she also managed to regularly work in music, which had a wide circle of friends, enjoyed great food, travel, and Asian culture. She filled every minute with new adventures, and her life goal was to travel the world. She had a passion for performing music, be it French horn, mellophone, or ukulele. And she had the ability to create, perform, and inspire. She was also an incredible athlete and teammate, and she explored a long list of sports over the years. But her definitive favorite was volleyball. She played on several select volleyball teams and played intramural volleyball while at UT. Lauren possessed a unique absence of any prejudice. She never assigned any prejudgment, but rather saw people for who they were, seeing their purest soul. She made everyone around her feel comfortable, valued, and loved. Lauren decided to attend UT because of its rich diversity and intense competitive nature of the honors program. Comments from her many friends included Lauren could have cured cancer, Lauren was going to be president, and Lauren was a once-in-a-lifetime friend. Lauren is survived by her mother, Jane Sturmer Bajuk, father, Terrence Sean Bajuk, brother, John Bajuk, and a loving extended family. Grandparents, Lois and Terrence Bajuk, aunts and uncle, Peggy and Clark McMurtry, Sharon Sturmer and Scott Hammeter, Karen and Matthew Howard, Pamela and Philip Doddridge, and a long list of special cousins and extended family. Lauren was preceded in death by grandparents Joyce Marie Sturmer and Leonard Sturmer. Lauren's family wishes to thank all friends and family for the outpouring and love during this incredibly difficult time. The heartfelt words and remembrances are truly meaningful.
So, one of Londyn's very special friends, Maria, actually couldn't make it tonight because she's not here. She's in Brazil. So, okay, so she just gave me something to read. So it's not for me, it's for Maria. So, okay. Londyn and I lived in the same dorm on the same floor. I remember the first few times I saw her in the hallway. I thought she was beautiful. I would tell my friends about the fourth floor redhead. She just looked so cool. One day I got invited to play cards with my friends and a group of people, and Londyn was there. Whenever I mentioned I was from Brazil, she opened the biggest smile and started asking questions to get to know me. We clicked on that night and would hang out a lot on the following days. One of our first memories together was only a few days after we became friends. I took her to the bridge that connects UNT to the stadium late at night on probably a weekday. We talked for hours. She was very interested in learning about me. That was a unique thing about her. She genuinely cared about people. She treated me so well that I started going to a dining hall. I didn't really like the food, just so I would hang out with her. Londyn's birthday was just 2 weeks after the bridge night, and I made her a drawing of us sitting on the bridge watching the cars passing by. Along with the framed drawing, there was a note saying, "You know when you need something, not knowing what it is, then it happens, and you realize that was all you needed?" That's how I have always felt about her. She would always make me feel seen, making me feel at home in a country where I barely knew anyone. Londyn would always say hi to my brother, who she called by his nickname, even though she never met him. She would drive me to places, skate with me, and would be there when I needed, no matter what time of day. In January of 2021, I went through a painful situation I thought I couldn't handle. She wasn't back yet from winter break and spent the day with me whenever she got back. She made sure to take care of me even more after that, and I don't know how I would have been if it wasn't for her. Of course, we had many good moments, but Londyn stuck with me through the hardest moment of my life. She supported me whenever I decided to talk to the police, drove me to the hospital, and gave me a testimony for my case. Londyn did so much for me, and I'll always be thankful. She made sure to make me feel like the most special person every time we interacted. I would always tell her she was one of my favorite people on earth. I will never forget our moments together. She has always been my angel and will forever be. Now, every time I look at the sunset, I feel closer to her. Londyn changed my life. I'll always carry her in my heart. Wishing my deepest condolences, Maria.
to take out this picture of her, of the two of us together, so she can listen. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Wenting Du, and I'm proud to say that I'm one of the thousands of people who Lauren deeply impacted in her time on Earth. I think we all belong in that category, and even though I haven't met many of you face to face, I feel like I know you all because of the hundreds of stories Lauren has told me. If she were here right now, she would have wanted us all to know just how much we meant to her. But I hope I can speak for everyone when I say we all already know that. Because with Lauren, you never doubted or questioned for a second if she loved you. She made it known. She would shout it from the rooftops, remind you of her love with small gestures or thoughtful gifts, and pass on memories of you to all her loved ones. Everyone here meant the absolute world to her. But what did she mean to us? For a while after I met Lauren, I struggled to find a word that could accurately describe our relationship. Best friends seemed too small because people can have multiple best friends, and Lauren was one of a kind to me. I didn't figure it out until the beginning of this year, January 29th to be precise. We were both hammocking in the quad at school, listening to music and reading our books when it started to get really chilly and windy. I was shivering in my hammock until Lauren turned to me and said, "Wait right here," before running inside and grabbing blankets and one of her sweatshirts for me to wear. She covered me up much like a mother would and gave me a smile that I still remember to this day. It was one of those moments where everything felt a little too perfect to be real, and I told myself to memorize every little detail of that moment and the way I felt just pure happiness. Later that night, I told my parents that story, and my mom said, like it was so obvious, "Lauren is your gui mi." She explained that in Chinese culture, having a gui mi is extremely rare and only used to describe the relationship between two girls. A gui mi is someone who feels like home, someone who negates any need for romantic love, someone you would cut off your big toe for, someone who you tell everything to and is there for you no matter what. Lauren was all of that and so much more to me. And before I wrap things up, I want to share two more stories about Lauren that I think the world needs to hear. This past semester, Londyn came down to visit UT Austin, and the three of us went out to play laser tag with a couple of friends, including Paige and Noor. The entire time up until we walked into the arena, Lauren was adamantly trying to convince me that she sucked at laser tag. She'd only played once or twice before, and she was going to be the lowest ranked out of everybody. And I was over here like, thank God someone else is as bad as me because I suck at laser tag. So naturally, she ended up winning first place. And I got like 20th. And when it happened, I was not even surprised because Lauren was the most talented person and quickest learner I've ever met in my life. She learned to hem from watching just one YouTube video. She had the voice of an angel. She was so unbelievably good at drawing. And if you don't believe me, just check her TikTok. All the proof you need is there. Another time, I sent Lauren a Snapchat of me crying in my bed. And the next thing I knew, she was by my side with a Starbucks drink and a snowman cookie. Sweet, right? Except when she handed me the snowman cookie, it had broken in half and the heat had melted the frosting, so the cookie just looked like two really deformed circles. And for some reason, that's what really sent me over the edge. And I started bawling my eyes out like a baby in front of her. And what does Lauren do? She starts laughing her ass off. And then she takes out her phone and makes me pose with the pictures of with the pieces of the broken cookie, with my teary, snot-stained face and everything. And it was such a Lauren thing to do that before I knew it, I was laughing with her and teasing myself for even being sad in the first place. Lauren had this way of making all my problems fade away, and I think the reason why is because I've always thought, no matter what happens, I'll be okay, because Lauren will be by my side and we'll get through it together. If you're up there listening to me, Lauren, I know you're probably laughing at how dramatic I am, but I just want you to know that you made me who I am. You inspired people to love you with their full hearts because you gave them back just as much love, if not more. And if there's one thing I'm grateful for in this life, it's that I got to know you, love you, and be loved by you. I'm never going to move on from you, but I will move forward with you by my side and your spirit to guide me through life. I love you more than words can describe. To everyone here tonight, Lauren would have wanted you to live life to the absolute fullest. She was set to go to Spain, New York, and Hong Kong all within this next year, and now that she can't, we must all carry on the torch and explore the world with her in our hearts. This coming year, if you're planning a vacation or going out of the country, all I ask is that at some point during your trip, you put on The King by Sarah Kinsley because that was her favorite song, and you dance with absolute abandon because that's what she would have done. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jay. I was incredibly close to both Londyn and Lauren, and this loss has taken half of me, at least. Every single time I tried to write about them for this, there's no words to describe. So today I'm just going to speak from my heart, but I've had amazing opportunities with both of them to see the world, to learn, to laugh, to love. I was graced with the opportunity to travel to not only Beijing but also Germany with Lauren. I also got to see Germany with Londyn, and those are moments that will never leave me. I've always thought that knowing me meant knowing my love for Londyn and Lauren both. Focusing on Londyn tonight, I've been considering a lot since her passing, her impact on my life and what areas has she changed me the most, and I keep coming back to two specific things, and the first being her drive to change this world. And from the second I met her, that was something that we connected very deeply on. This is somebody that, in my weak moments where I could not continue pushing and I was losing hope in certain areas, specifically in fighting for women's rights alongside of Londyn fueled my flame and kept me going, even when I thought there was no reason to continue. And I hope that in moments that Londyn was feeling weak with her drive in those areas, I was able to push her the same. Seeing her go to protests in times that I just couldn't anymore got me back on my feet, and it's always been such a strong care for her, and I hope that every single one of you knows that out of all of Londyn's passions, her drive to change the world outweighed every single one of them. And I hope that you can move forward with that in mind and that in your actions. The second thing I keep coming to is her impact on my creativity. I'm an artist in every second of my life, and Londyn, every single piece that I have made has been there to not only ask to see it, but to tell me how much it mattered to her that I kept doing what I was doing. I had the opportunity to prepare this painting with my dear friend Christian, and it was the best thing I could be pouring my energy into right now. They were the most beautiful faces I would ever care to paint. And once again, any time that I was feeling a little dim in terms of my ability to keep making, Londyn was right there to tell me that she needed to see something more, and she wanted me to keep making. And I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but it is so important to me that every single one of you understand that I was not the only one that Londyn kept pushing and pushing and pushing to be better. And watching Londyn's amazing ability with her flute just blew my mind. I mean, I'd never even heard the word a flautist, and Londyn said that to me, and she was like, I'm gonna be a flautist, and I was like, shit, like, I was messing with her for a long longest time about that, but truly Londyn made me feel like I could be anything I wanted to be. And we connected the moment we met. Well, it's not true. That's not true. I met Londyn at school and hardly talked, and on a whim, I just decided that she would be at my 13th birthday, and just extended the invite, and she showed up. And we were attached to hip since, and she thought I was so weird for that. It's so beyond, like, who invites a stranger to a birthday party? But it paid off. And I think Londyn's weirdness is really what connected ourselves to each other. Any of y'all know me, I'm pretty fucking weird. And I'm sorry for that at times. But Londyn's weirdness is what I love the most about her, same as Lauren. And if anybody knows them, they know their sense of humor is the standout thing about both of them. I was shopping for a dress for these events these past couple days, and walking through the mall, the new Minions movie is coming out, and there's like a display of all these Minions apparel, and I was like, they just would love if I wore that. I think humor for them. So keep making dad jokes and keep ironically using American flags for them as long as you can. And just, yeah, I think if anything is, we need to laugh right now, and that's what they want the most. And I think every single time I hear somebody talking about what they would have wanted, I scream inside, you know, because we don't know. But all I can know is that they would be laughing too. And so I will follow in their footsteps. And both of them are going to push me forever. I was able to bring them through me with Christian to make this, and I'm going to bring them through me to make every single thing I make after this. They're going to live with me in my memories, in my actions, through my art, in every other way that I can. And I'm so grateful that every single one of y'all are here today. It's been a long time since I've seen so many of you, and it's been a long time since so many of you have seen Londyn and Lauren. So I'm just really grateful to have them see you through my eyes, at least. Yeah, I don't even think I can express how close both of them were in my heart. Yeah, so much love to them and every single one of you that love them as well. Yeah. If any of y'all would like to take home a postcard version of this, come find me, because I have some. And if anybody else would just want to talk, I am around. So, yeah.
Hi guys. So this is just something I wrote, just kind of like processing my feelings when I first found out. There are people who leave this world every day, and yet I've been very lucky that up until now I haven't had much loss in my life. Lauren Bajuk was my sister's best friend growing up, so naturally she was a part of my little sister's annoying friends. The relationship that group of girls had was very different, and I always admired the way they were so close. And maybe with getting older and going to different schools, lost a little communication, but never their connection. They were the goofiest group of girls, truly. I always gave them a hard time for being dorks, but I did always love when my sister would come home from their sleepovers the next day and show me the movies that they would make. Let me tell y'all, it was an entire production. My stomach would be hurting from laughing so hard. Lauren stopped being my little sister's annoying friend when we were in middle school and had band together. I'm so grateful for band for so many reasons, one of them being that it gave me relationships with people like Lauren. I'm so glad to have known her. Lauren was such an effortlessly funny person. We were constantly laughing. I will never forget her stupid joke about ensemble group contest that I really couldn't even explain to you guys because it was a joke we took too far and it just didn't make sense anymore. I have this very specific memory of us waiting to be picked out from Central Junior High, and you're just laughing, crying, laughing with each other. I'm really having such a hard time accepting that she's not here with us because it just doesn't feel real. In my mind, Lauren was going to change the world in whatever way, but I knew that she was the type of person that could. She was so incredibly smart, it was ridiculous. I would try and help her and give her advice because we went through a lot of the same programs. But truthfully, she never really needed my help. She was just such a well-rounded person, it's insane. She was so incredibly talented in so many ways. I remember one summer, I'm sure some of you guys remember this, her streak Snapchats. She would draw like these entire masterpieces. My jaw would drop every day. She was an amazing natural leader in band, hard worker, amazing musician, kind-hearted person, friend, and so much more. My point is, in her 20 years of life, she already contributed so much to the world and the people around her. I know we all wish that she could have had longer here with us, but I know that she made an impact. I know she changed and inspired me. I wish I could have had at least one more conversation with her because I know it would have made me laugh harder than I have at once. I will always cherish the memories that I have of her and cherish the love and friendship she gave to my sister and that group of girls. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Fabian. For those who don't know me, London's been part of my life since preschool. So whenever we first met, we were maybe 4 or 5 years old, and I always thought she was the weird girl with the red hair. I never thought we would become friends, much less never thought she would impact my life so much and make me the person I am today. It wasn't until we became friends toward the end of 5th grade because both of our friend groups merged together, and we're like, okay, I guess we should, be cool with each other. And then it wasn't until 6th grade where I realized, no, our friendship is something special and something I've never had with anyone up to that point. And during that time, she turned to me around maybe 7th grade. She turned to me, she's like, Fabian, I have something to tell you. I'm like, what? She said, I did not like you at all in elementary school. That's so funny because I did not like you either. But we just both thought that we were both weird and we just thought that we would never become friends, but I'm so thankful that our weirdness is what brought us together and made us the friends that we were. And I'm so grateful for her. And she's been my best friend. She's been one of my best friends since that day. I feel like that day marked the beginning of our relationship. There was this one time, it was me, her, and Christian. We were going to a drive-in movie in Fort Worth, and Londyn was driving the car, and I was in the passenger seat, and Christian was in the back seat. And all of a sudden, Christian turned to us and he said, guys, I don't know if I'm just like crazy, but I think we're driving on the wrong side of the freeway. And thank God we were able to turn around, but that was so funny. And I just think that's just like goes to explain how goofy Londyn was and how we were together. But all jokes aside, Londyn was a fighter. She was the most opinionated person you ever met, I ever met. She always had something to say, even if you didn't want to hear it, she would tell you. But she had the biggest heart, and she always, on those days that I felt like I couldn't continue my passion, which is theater, she always told me that she believed in me, even whenever I didn't believe in myself. She was always there for me, and she came to as many shows as she possibly could. I recently made my professional theater debut back in March, and she took the time to bring her mom and her brother Brendan to go see me in that. And I am so grateful she was finally able to see me in a professional setting, because I always swore I wanted to do professional theater so bad, and I didn't think I would ever be able to do it. And she pushed me to do it, and I'm so glad that she was able to see me in my first and only professional production. And I know from now on those days I don't feel like I'm good enough, or I'm doubting myself, or I feel like I can't continue on, or I can't do it anymore, I'm gonna think of both her and Lauren, because they both pushed me so hard to do what I love. And I can't thank her enough for our friendship. And I would like to thank every single one of y'all for coming. And for those of you who didn't know Londyn or Lauren, just know that they were both incredible people, and yeah, you would have loved them. And those who do know love them, I know that y'all do. So thank you so much for coming tonight.
Coming back for round two, so I've been asked by one of Lauren's lifelong friends, Kiara, to read a poem that she recently wrote about Lauren for her 20th birthday. From atop their ivory tower, gods and goddesses alike look down upon the human world, filled with pity, disgust, and greed. A group of sadists they do make. They toy and prod and push against mankind's will, but the humans, they fight, they try, they kill. Amidst the creatures born of clay, a maiden divine amongst them lays. Hair as dark as the midnight sky, it shines like tinsel wrapped around lively evergreens. The longing gaze of man and woman trail her figure as she traipses her way through the earth. Where she's going, no one knows. Where she lands, a war ensues. While her beauty is an adornment unmatched, it is her mind that is a weapon truly unrivaled. Athena and Artemis are stunned by the woman. She wins every verbal bout against men, clashing like an unrelenting sword. There is no creature, no god, nor man to whom which she will ever yield. For she who possesses such raw, unadulterated power is known in the transcription of history as the anomaly. So that was the poem from Kiara, and another thing I wanted to add was, for those of you who knew Lauren, you knew how enamored she was with Chinese culture. She was getting a minor in Chinese. The two of us were set to go visit or to study abroad in Hong Kong in the spring of 2023, and she always talks about getting to live there for a couple years after college. And so there are a couple of words that I would like to say to Lauren in Chinese. 安息吧，你将永远活在我们心中里. And basically that just means sleep peacefully, you will forever live on in our hearts. Thank you.
Okay, so I just have a really quick little story about me and Lauren. Basically, there's really no good to come from this, but we have to make the best of it. And so I'm going to ask you tonight to think of what inspired you the most about Lauren and Londyn, and I want you to take that with you, and I want you to become that. Because I wasn't ready to see them go, and I want their legacy to continue. So for me, I think one thing that I really just loved about Lauren was her loyalty. She was just the best friend and the best daughter, sister, she was just the best. Perfect. I just have a little silly anecdote. Once upon a time, in about 5th grade, we went to Stonegate Elementary School, and after school, an extended day, we would play outside, and I peed my pants. Just peed my pants right there. Luckily, it was just us two right there, and it was just us, and she dashed away. We went to the bathroom, and she fixed me up, and I don't know how this, I don't know, you guys, but this is a big moment. I'm sharing it with you guys. Lauren has never told anyone else this. I mean, and she totally could have. She could have made made fun of me for this, but instead she chose to be the best friend, and so that's my little story. So I just hope you guys really take something and grow from this and live their legacy on. Okay, so that was like all we had for like the planned speeches, and now our next plan is to go on like a little nature walk, and basically it's just gonna be like this path over there, around that field, and back over here, and whenever you come back, after that we're gonna turn off the lights, these lights, but we're gonna do it all together, sort of. So yeah, if you guys just wanna follow us as we go on our little walk through.